Thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity to say good morning to all members of the Parliamentary Committee for Public Service and Administration, as well as all the staff members that are here with us today. I really appreciate that you made the trouble to be with us. Um, I would like to just say that I extend my compliments for the new season towards everybody. And I trust that everybody had a very nice break and that we are all re-energized to continue this important work of our committee and doing our oversight responsibilities and also where necessary engaging in our legislative responsibilities. Um, if before we move on, can I ask the secretary to just flight the agenda for the day so that we can just adopt the agenda, please? There you have it, members. Today is a nice and simple agenda. We've got the opening and the welcoming, the apologies, and then the main item, the consideration and the adoption of the committee oversight report for our KwaZulu Natal province. Before we and then just a consideration of minutes and a adjournment afterwards. We should be finished by 12 o'clock. Can I please have a proposer for the adoption of this agenda for today's meeting?
Morning, Chair.
Good morning, Honorable Pulwane. Nice to hear from you.
Yes, morning, Chair, members of the committee, our support staff. Good morning, all of you, and compliment for the new season. Chair, I move for the adoption of the agenda for today's meeting. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Honorable Pulwane. So noted. Is there a seconder? Honorable Malinga.
Morning, Chair. Morning, Secretary of the Committee. The entire staff, supporting staff, the members of the committee from various political parties, compliment for 2026. I second Chair moving of the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Malinga. Good morning to you as well, and thank you so much for seconding the agenda. Our agenda for the day is then duly adopted, and we can move on to the second item, which is the apologies. Members, we have received apologies from Honorable Mkunu and Honorable Ndamase, who both indicated that they are not available today. We did receive a notice from Honorable Langa that he's not well today and that he will be joining us, that he'll try to join us online, but we understand that if he's not, I do see him online, but we understand that if he needs to go off for his health, then we will 100% support that. And both Honorable Kaba and Kelise said they will join even though they are on oversight with other committees. So I see Honorable Kelise is on, and I really appreciate that. And I see Honorable Kaba is on as well, if I saw correctly. So we appreciate those members that have gone to the trouble of signing in, even though they are on oversight. We really do appreciate it. So to the rest of the members, I see online Honorable Space, Honorable Langa, Honorable Malinga, Honorable Kelise, Honorable Leklape, good morning, and Honorable Tikana. Thank you so much for taking the time this morning to be with us. We look forward to making this speediest and getting through our agenda as effectively as possible. And before we move on to the consideration of the oversight report, let me just quickly make some remarks and say that we are today officially opening our meeting by adopting the outstanding KwaZulu Natal Province oversight report and the committee minutes. Honourable members, the committee was supposed to embark on an oversight visit this week to the Eastern Cape province. However, whilst we were planning this visit, we received correspondence from the Office of the Premier of the Eastern Cape that all his heads of departments, including himself and his MECs, is on a provincial hotla preparing for the opening of the state of the provincial address this week, and they would not have been available to meet with us. Um, this has resulted in the management committee deciding that the oversight would rather be rescheduled, so that when we spend the money to go to the Eastern Cape, which is on our agenda to do, we do it knowing that we will see the Premier, that we will have a fruitful engagement with the MECs and the relevant officials of the Eastern Cape. But this decision also provided our support staff with some time to focus on the preparation of the international study tour, which they are busy preparing for and which they are busy trying to finalize with the chief whip and with the office of the chair of chairs as well. We will, towards the end of today, receive an update relating to the international study tour. Um, uh, so that we can all understand where we are at, what still needs to be done, and get some more details. So please expect an update relating to the study tour before the end of the day. Um, but with those few words, let us allow Julius to present the KwaZulu Natal Oversight Visit Report. Let's move on to that part of the agenda. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members and colleagues on the platform, and compliments for the new season. As you have already wished us compliments, I would also like to say it again, Chair, from our side. Yeah, honorable members, Chair, this is a report that we have drafted after having conducted an oversight in KwaZulu Natal Province from the 14th to the 17th of October 2025. Yeah, I'll just change here the date, Honorable Chair. This was submitted somewhere, but I'll change the date to January 2026 because now it's set before the committee. Okay. Yeah, no, thanks, Chair. As I've already indicated that the committee has undertaken this oversight visit in KwaZulu-Natal from the 14th to the 17th. I won't read the purpose of the oversight as most of the members and our colleagues and they understand the purpose of the oversight. I'll just go page by page if members, if honorable members have maybe spotted any error or maybe any addition, please, through you, Chairperson, members can be able just to indicate so that I will just go page by page and just reflect on the highlights on that particular page. But if there's anything up until we go to the observation and the recommendation, Chair, if you may allow to approach this report through this proposed approach, Chairperson.
Yes, supported. You should consider the report read by the members who have received it in time, so you can proceed on the proposed way. Thank you.
Okay, no, thanks, Chair. Yeah, this is page one. Page one of the report. If there's any correction or addition, honorable members. Goes up until the introduction. And then page two is still the introduction of the report, which has got some objectives of the oversight. And page three, which has got the composition of the delegation. And I believe all the members that are reflected here, they were part of the oversight. Ms. Mchunu. Yeah. Just put the name there, but I remember it's Ms. Mchunu, who was from the MK with Honorable Malinga. Yeah, here is just a support staff, and then from the department, I won't deal much on this one, Honorable Chair. And then
sorry, Julius.
okay.
If you just go back to the names that, yeah, I think preferably can we just follow protocol? Maybe, excuse me, if we write the names, maybe start with the chairperson, then we can follow after that.
Okay.
If the chairperson can be the first person on the list, then maybe with being followed by the whip, then we can follow. Thank you.
Okay. No, thanks, Honorable Langa. I'll just put this and then we'll come back in terms of just cleaning up the report at a later stage. Just fix in terms of the initials of honorable members.
I check the spelling with Klaba.
Yeah, it's Honorable Kaba there. That's the whip of the committee.
XABA.
Oh, you mean Kaba? Okay. XA.
XABA, yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, sure. Okay, no, thanks. Okay. Attend to that one later stage. Okay, on page 4, honorable members, the overview and the interaction of the oversight. If members still recall that on the first day we visited Imbendle Community Service Center, that is located in the Umgungundlovu district, south of south I think is it south of Durban, yeah, if I may say. So we had an interaction with these various services in the center. Among include Home Affairs, IEC, Labor Department, Department of Labor, and NYDA. Yeah, those are the services that the center is offering. And this is the interaction with those service centers that we have visited at the Imbendle Tucson Service Center. Department of Labor members we visited the Department of Labor. Then we have captured the interactions here on this paragraph. Then again, still the Department of Labor, and then we also captured the interaction of members and the officials from the Department of Home Affairs on this particular paragraph. Still Home Affairs, again, the issue of smart and mobile trucks, the honorable members, and then the late registration birth certificate that were taken back to the Pietermaritzburg Home Affairs, and then the people were complaining that they had to travel back for the late registration of birth certificate. So those are some of the issues that we have highlighted on this report. the issue of the immigration. If you members recall, the inventory does not have any car for that deals with the immigration. So the committee appealed that we at least the Home Affairs should give them at least one car that can deal with the issues of immigration in the area. And then again, we had a meeting with the Department of Basic Education. I think we visited just one office where we found a lady there. We also captured that. Members had the interaction around that. And the other issue was the issue of the poor connectivity around the center. So that's one of the issues that were highlighted. Yeah, and then the other issue that came out strongly was the issue of the funding constraint at the service center. So those are some of the issues that members have highlighted. And then we then, for our visit the following day, then we visited the Mini Tucson Service Center, Mnini Tucson Service Center, which is situated in Ward 98 of eThekwini. It's not that far from Durban. So where members have interacted with officials at the center. Remember, we've started at the library. So we captured that at the Mnini's Tucson Service Center. And there were issues of the lease agreements with other departments not paying rent. So those are some of the issues that were flagged during our interaction. The issue of security at the center, and even the issues of the shortage of laptops and photocopy machine, because that center is huge, but then it's still like some like laptops and you have the photocopy machine. So people, they come, but they don't get services efficiently, if I may say it in that way. So there were issues again with the Department of Labor that is providing services on or that is providing lip services to the community. They come maybe one or twice or once a week. So those were the issues that were highlighted during our visit. If members still recall, the office was closed during our visit, because they highlighted the issue of transportation from the Durban office to this service centers. Those are some of the issues that were flagged. And then the issues of the Department of Social Development as well. This office space was not sufficient. The officials complained about the issues of privacy when they are interviewing people, especially the social workers, because there's no privacy, and the people, the community, they don't feel comfortable relating their story in such kind of office environment. So those are some of the issues that were highlighted during the visit. And then again, there was an issue with regard to SASSA. I think where we found that they need to prioritize elderly and people with disability and pregnant women, because we found that there was a woman, I think, was carrying a child and a newborn child, and then was not receiving any services. So that was addressed by the committee on the spot. So we also emphasized that. And then the issue of the Home Affairs again at the center. And the space again, and an issue of mobile track services that comes on scheduled dates. It was also highlighted because it looks like as if the KwaZulu Natal does not have sufficient mobile truck services for Home Affairs. So that was another issue that was also encountered in this Mnini's Tucson Service Center. So and even the issue of the computer lab space for the youth, we found that there's a challenge with regard to that. And then in terms of the space, so the center is huge, but then they can maximize their services. And then we on the following day, I think it was on a Thursday, as per the program of the oversight. We then had a meeting with the provincial government at the office of the Premier, where the Director General of the province and the heads of all departments were present in the meeting. And then the committee could not proceed with the business of the day due to the absence of any delegated political leader to welcome members of the National Assembly in the province. And the meeting was duly cancelled. And following that, on the 17th October 2025, the Office of the Premier sent an apology letter signed by the Premier to the chairperson of the committee and its members, conveying an apology on the misunderstanding and commitment the province had at the provincial legislature. So this is what has transpired out after the cancellation of the meeting and the letter. I believe honorable members and chairperson, the letter was circulated on to the members' emails. So we have seen that letter, honorable chair and honorable members. In terms of the observation and then key findings, I'll just read honorable chair, as I've said earlier on, and honorable members, that I'll read the observation and key findings, and then I'll be corrected if there's anything or if there's addition, members can indicate. So in terms of the Imbendle Tucson Service Center, here the observation and the findings: the Department of Health should house ambulances at the center to assist with efficient response rate to the committee, and there is a huge space to accommodate ambulances in the center. If members recalls the community in the center, they've complained that ambulances, they take time to come and assist them because of they are far away from where they live. So they are appealing that there's a need.
So Julius,
Okay, sir.
apologies for interjecting.
Okay. No.
Can you just go back to a bit to the Premier's office? Because if I recall, the letter was sent on the same day because it's dated the 16th of October. The letter that you circulated to the committee. I've just had a look at it. It's dated 16th of October.
Okay. No, it's meaning I can just change if you've got that letter, Honorable Langa, and then it's dated 16th
Yes.
October, then we can just amend that to 16th of October.
Apologies for interjecting when it passed. I was just checking the letter to confirm the dates.
Okay.
So it's 16th.
No,
Thank
thanks.
you.
No, thanks, Honorable Langa. Yeah. Then with regard to 5.2, the Department of Communications should be conducted by the district and the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs to assist with the provision of network connectivity hindering business operation at the center. Like I've already alluded to honorable members that there's a problem with the connectivity at the center, which hinder the provision of services. So this is one of the observations that the committee have made, that there's a need to engage the Department of Communication. So there's so that they bring some intervention that will assist the center and the community in terms of improving the network. With regard to 5.3, the Department of Home Affairs should refrain from issuing the green ID books, as this reverse the gains of ensuring all South Africans are on a smart card IDs. If members still recall that at the Imbendle, they were not yet issuing the smart card IDs. They don't have the facility to issue smart card ID, but they've indicated that they still, when people come, they still issue the green ID books. Yeah, so it was just for the committee to emphasize that the Home Affairs should consider only issuing smart card ID books. I mean, smart card IDs rather than green ID books. And then 5.4, staff shortage and inadequate budgets were the major challenge impacting the efficiency of the Department of Home Affairs, and staff shortages result in long queues and employees fatigue and leading to frequent leave and absenteeism. So this is one of the issues that were raised where we found that it was only, I think there were only 2 officials that we found at the center. So then there's a shortage, and then they will also raise the issue of inadequate budget at the Department of Home Affairs. So that was another issue, because the entire community cannot be serviced by a few staff members, which we know very well that Home Affairs is a demanding service on a daily basis. And then with regard to 5.5, connectivity issue and unreliable system have contributed to inefficient services and affected queue management. And the IT system in Home Affairs Center needs to be improved as network downtime hampers frontline service delivery. And then with regard to 5.6, the center should look at having the Department of Agriculture, since the community in the neighborhood is surrounded by a rural area with subsistence farming. So there was no Department of Agriculture. Then the committee felt that there is a need for the Department of Agriculture to join other departments at the Two-Zone Service Center, so that people can be able to consult on their subsistence farming market. So with regard to 5.7, the center should ensure that there is NAFSA's assistance to assist grade 12 learners to apply. So there was an appeal that the NAFSA's offices should also partner the center, so that grade 12 learners can be assisted throughout. With regard to 5.8, the center should have a wheelchair to assist people with disability when coming to the Home Affairs, and government employee medical scheme, James, was requested to assist with donation of a wheelchair for the center. 5.9, the center officials should be provided with training program for people with disabilities, such as basic sign language, noting that there's an office at the center for people with disabilities. 5.10, the center should be modernized and remodeled to be an interface of various departments and the community seeking to receive government services. And 5.11, the committee said the center should work with Sakuma Sake program. And then 5.12, government department with an old furniture and old computers should donate such to the Two-Zone service, to the Two-Zone centers across the country. So it was an issue where we found that they also they don't have furnitures and computers. So the committee is encouraging that such can be donated to the Two-Zone service centers. And then the DPSA advised that they have a study on how long the people should travel to access service delivery. So this is what the DPSA have alluded during our interaction, that they've conducted a study that indicate how long should a person travel to get a service delivery as a guidance in terms of what is needed within the province. Then with regard to Mnini Two-Zone Service Center, the municipality should ensure that there are adequate security personnel for the Two-Zone Service Center, as the safety in area was a concern. 5.15, government departments, both national and provincial, should be encouraged to donate old computers to the center, in particular the DPSA and COGT. 5.16, the center should look at ways to reduce electricity cost and have solar panels and batteries. 5.17, the center should manage the lease agreements with their tenants better in order to sustain the maintenance of the building and paying for municipal services. With regard to 5.18, there was an issue of staff shortages and inadequate budgets where the major challenges impacted the efficiency of the Department of Social Development and SASSA. And staff shortages result in long queues, employee fatigue, leading to frequent leave and absenteeism. With regard to the 5.19, connectivity issue and unreliable system have contributed to inefficient services and affected queue management. And the IT system in the center needs to be improved as network downtime hamper frontline service delivery. 5.20, insufficient office space and poor office layout at the center hinder operations, more especially at the social welfare services. The COGTA, as well as the eThekwini Metropolitan Municipality, working with the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure Development, need to redesign the building to support business operations of various departments' service standard. Then I'll move to the recommendation, honorable members and chair. The committee made the following recommendations. 6.1, government employee medical scheme should consider donating wheelchair to Imbendle Tucson Service Center to assist people with disabilities in need of such services to move around the center. The 6.2, the provincial government through the Office of the Premier should consult with the Minister of Communication and Digital Transformation to address connectivity issues hindering services at the Tucson Service Center. So this is just a general rather than being an issue at the Imbendle. So it's just to indicate to the Premier and even to the that they need to approach the Minister of Communication to improve connectivity in those centers. And with regard to 6.3, the Department of Labor should ensure commitment of operating 5 days in all Tucson service centers across the country rather than on an interval schedule. 6.4, the Department of Home Affairs, Department of Social Development, and SASSA should address the shortage of staff and inadequate budget, which hinder service delivery at many provincial centers. 6.5, the provincial government of the KwaZulu Natal, through the Office of the Premier, should motivate for additional home affairs mobile trucks to cover most geographical area in the province. And 6.6, provision of green ID book should be reconsidered as the country is migrating towards ensuring citizens have smart card IDs. And then 6.7, the Department of Home Affairs should continue improving digital infrastructure in provincial centers as unreliable connectivity is contributing to inefficient services. The department should maintain ongoing discussion with the Minister of Communication and Digital Infrastructure and SETA to improve network connections and ensure reliable quality services. 6.8, the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure should audit list building used by all centers across the country to assess their suitability for business operations like Department of Social Development and Home Affairs. Yeah, this is the end of our report, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members, because we didn't have those deliberation in the boardroom with the Office of the Premier. So our report is slim instead of it was supposed to cover the number of objectives that the oversight wished to cover, but unfortunately due to that meeting that didn't materialize, then we had a very short report. I thank you, Honorable Chairperson and Honorable Members.
Thank you very much, Julius. Much appreciated. It is what it is, as they say. Just a special thanks to Honorable Langa as well, who I think we can make our unofficial head of what should we call it? Proper formal, just making sure that everything is always, all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. So thank you for that, Honorable Langa. I always appreciate that you have attention to detail in these reports. Members, it is now the time for deliberation. Is there any deliberation needed? Is there any member who would like to ask a question or make a comment? I see Honorable Malinga's hand. Honorable Malinga, you can go ahead so long.
Thank you, Chair. Firstly, let's welcome the summary of the report and the observations. I won't dwell much on the issue of the date from Honorable Langa. I know that the letter was dated the 16th, but we received the letter on the 17th. But that is not a stretch match. I think there are two things, Chair, that I think we as the committee, we need to come up with a positive criticism when it comes to the oversight. One, I'm looking at the letter where I will say the management of the committee do communicate with the office of the premier. I think what we are doing now will assist us in future in terms of the letter. If the secretary and the chair, they are drafting the letter just to show us the concept of the letter so that we'll assist one another. It's a norm that during the oversight, surely the premier or the executive, it's a must to be part of the meeting. But if you look at the letter, the way the letter was drafted, so it will give any political party to come up with the potholes in the letter and to defend each other. I think in future, let us try to do that so that our letter is not loose. Because if you look at the letter and debate it in a political format, so the absentia of the executive, they may come and defend themselves. Secondly, Chair, I just want to come up with an umbrella proposal. Secondly, if you look at the I'll say South Coast Tusong Center, from the library to the Home Affairs satellite offices, you can see that going down to the office of the Metropolis where there were some changes of weights, it shows us that among themselves there was no communication between those satellite offices. I don't know what can we do in future to avoid that situation so that we will be in a position where we knew before we go there that all stakeholders, they are informed accordingly. Because remember, the social worker, when we pop in there, nobody knew who we are. We're supposed to introduce ourselves, and those employees that were there, they were not informed. Going back to the library, the staff was not informed in time, and the senior person was busy with other things there. And most of the departments there, I don't know what can we do to make sure that our communication with the relevant areas is up to date. On my side, those are two issues. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you very much, Honorable Malinga. Yes, indeed, noted. It is concerning when a parliamentary delegation, members of parliament arrive for meetings with the premier and the executive, and as we experienced, I find it a little bit concerning that you have to maybe spell out in a letter that the premier must please attend, whereas I would think and experience from since being a member since 2019 is that it is normal protocol that when a parliamentary committee visits a province, that the premier, or at least a delegated MEC then from the premier's office, would greet you and would sit with you if you've requested a meeting. But nonetheless, I think that if we can cover ourselves in future, as per your suggestion, by perhaps even spelling it out clearer, then yes, then we can perhaps stop this from happening again. And I suspect that's why we did not have this follow-up situation in the Eastern Cape this week, where we potentially could have travelled to the Eastern Cape and had a repeat of what happened the last time. So lessons learned. It's unfortunate, but I think to your point, maybe we should spell things out as clearly as possible and not assume that everybody follows normal protocol. And that goes exactly almost the same for the two-song centers as well. You know, one would assume, and I would say it is a logical assumption, that if you write to the department and you say you're going to visit the two-song center as a parliamentary committee, that you know that tenants and stakeholders on the ground would be ready to receive you and would know of your visit, and you know would be ready to give you all the information you received. And I really think it is a shortcoming on the side of the two-song center and the management there and the department, that was not the case. You know, that stakeholders on the ground were surprised that we were there, and not prepared for our visit. Um, Nonetheless, I think if we need to spell it out even more clearly, yet to help ourselves, because it's also very unhelpful then for us when we are on site and stakeholders are not prepared to see us. So well noted. I agree with the sentiment. I think that if we as committee have to spell things out even clearer when we visit what our expectations are, then that's perhaps what we need to do, and not to make sure that we don't have a repeat of this last visit. So I agree with what you've said. Honorable Langa, I see your hand. Please proceed.
No, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, maybe let me also agree with both you and Honorable Malinga's perspective. But Chair, you are quite correct when you say if Parliament is coming, it's known protocol that the executive or the head of the province should be present and accompanied by the executives, even if it's for a minute, just to welcome us, then maybe leave us in the hands of one of the political heads. I think on the day it was probably just a mishap, because you will understand that the premiers, they work through their DGs and chief of staffs. So my understanding is that in this instant, and please don't get me wrong and say maybe I said the DG, there was an element of incompetency there, but I think the DG had not had much time in that office because he was from a local government level as a municipal a municipal manager. So, and he was acting on the job on the day. So hence the premier went, because I made a call to the premier later. He actually was in the legislature, and he returned my call and said he was not aware. According to his understanding, that is what was conveyed to him, that the head of departments could be there. He need not be there. So so what I'm trying to say, I think, like Honorable Linga said, it assists, when the letter is very clear. But as for protocol as well, I mean, the DG should have known that, the acting DG has also been since moved to HOD, to another HOD ministry. But I'm not saying it was because of that. I'm saying maybe the acting DG at the time, in terms of the experience in the office, he just came short on that. Another one that I cannot take lying down from Honorable Malinga is when he spoke on the date of the letter. He said we received it on the 17th. Maybe we as committee members, if I'm not mistaken, received this communication via our support staff on a Monday. But I remember very well I had a long conversation with the Premier on the day because he was explaining that he was not aware that he had to be there. I was with him, Honorable Malinga there. I was with him in the same car. And when the letter was sent as well, I was with Honorable Malinga on the day. So now for him to dispute the dates, because I had shared with him that the Premier had thought he will immediately write an apology letter because he felt what had happened was unjustifiable per se. So now when Honorable Malinga comes to this meeting and say the dates, Wara 16th and 17th, it's quite disturbing. So I just wanted to say I cannot take that one line down because I am sure the letter was sent on the 16th. If I'm not mistaken, it was on a Thursday. So I can see Honorable Malinga doesn't want to see me recovering fast from my flu. Maybe intentionally was just checking on me so that I can be awoke. But thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Langa. I'm convinced that Honorable Malinga does not mean you unwell in any way. That it's just healthy debate between politicians. But Honorable Leklape, please go ahead. I see your hand, and then afterwards, Honorable Malinga.
Thank you, Chair, and compliments to everyone and greetings. I just want us to be sure about what we assume is protocol. I think it's having been on other oversights as well. Parliament is not well received in provinces. There's no respect shown to parliamentary committees, and we need to ensure that that is sorted out from the top. It can't just be left to staff members. There should be an agreed protocol that the Premier needs to know. And as parliamentarians, we're coming into another sphere of government. And the head of that sphere of government must know about us coming and must prepare for the respective committee with the respective MECs and the respective departments. And it should be outlined so that we can't get there and people don't know. And if the protocol is not followed, there has to be consequences. But if things are just done from habit and there are no proper agreements in place of how these things should unfold, it's going to be difficult for the staff to get what we want to get. We as politicians must get our ducks in a row, and there has to be a proper regimented way of how an oversight visit occurs and who receives the committee and who should be in attendance with respect to a particular committee depending on its mandate. This should not be matters for negotiation, so that the visit is done when the appropriate people at provincial level are available to receive the respective committee. And then we can stop arguing amongst ourselves and everybody can be held to account because there's a proper SOP on the table as to who is responsible for what. So when the ball has been dropped, we know who has dropped the ball and the matter can then be attended to. Thank you, Chair. And there must also be a mechanism that's agreed in Parliament about monitoring and evaluation. I see in other committees, you repeat the same things, no actions get done. There are no time frames for this that we found. When would it be corrected? By who? When do we get the report? So we must have that stringent, proper framework so that our visits should be fruitful visits that benefit society. Thank you, Chair.
Very helpful and I think constructive input, Honorable Leklape. I appreciate it. I see Julius is already typing away on inserting a point to say that the committee appeals to the National Assembly House to develop protocol on receiving members of Parliament during oversight visits. And I think that this is if I can follow on your suggestion, I think there must be a dual approach. I think it's absolutely right that we add this into our report, and that we will most probably mention it when we talk as members to this report in the National Assembly. But I think that it must also be followed with a letter, which I will request from the committee secretary to be sent to, I think, both the chairperson, the chair of chairs, Honourable Frolick, as well as the chief whip, to make sure that we put this issue on their tables in a direct format as a letter from the committee as well. So I think if we follow those two measures, we would have done well to make sure that this is not a forgotten instance, that's just fell by the wayside. While we wait for Julius to just finish what he's typing, let's hear from Honourable Malinga. Honourable Malinga, please proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Now, let me withdraw the issue of the dates. There was no intention of any harm. But the second one, Chair, that I want to check, I've seen all that was typed by Julius. I just want to check, as we didn't have time with the Premier and his executive, that is there any plan going forward, whether for them to come to us in the National Parliament so that we will finish the unfinished business? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable Malinga, I'm sorry, I had a issue here on my side with hearing you. Could you just repeat your request, the last request? I was struggling to hear you. Sorry, there's a mistake on my side.
Okay, thank you, Chair. The request was that, is there any plan going forward for the Premier and the executive to come to the committee, maybe at Cape Town, to account in terms of the unfinished business that we didn't finish last year at KZN in the Premier's office? Thank you.
Yes, indeed, Honourable Malinga. Thank you very much for raising that. We did say when we were on site that we will ask them, the Premier and his team, to come to Parliament so that we can engage with them on the various issues in the public service in KwaZulu Natal, including ghost workers, and other related public service issues, lifestyle audits and the rest. It was also discussed in our management meeting, and it was resolved that we will invite them to Parliament. So I think maybe we can just get an update on that from Masikole, in terms of whether that invitation has gone out yet or not. Masi, would you like to just pick up from that?
Okay, Chair. Thanks for that, and good morning to honorable members. We had a discussion with the management meeting chair in relation to KZN, where we had indicated that perhaps if we were to visit KZN in this period, but we sort of felt that perhaps it was not a good timing. Hence, I think members of the management chose KZN and Eastern Cape. What we were planning, Chairperson, if you would look at our program of this term, Chair, at the end of the term, I think somewhere, if it's not the end of March, it should be on the 1st of April. We are intending to meet KwaZulu Natal physically at committee room S12A, where we will be touching base. At that time, we'll be dealing with the lifestyle audit. We'll then also allow members to have a discussion with the KZN delegation on other aspects that are affecting the oversight. What we will then do, Chairperson, on the second term, we will then invite the KZN Premier with his delegation, where we'll be dealing with that issue of the oversight, Chair. Depending on the agenda on the day, but basically we're dealing with all the agenda items that we had highlighted on the oversight. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you very much. Masi, Julius, can we just see that final wording for the paragraph which you added?
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Chair. Actually, I wanted to raise my hand because I somehow lost Honorable Letlape when he talks about the monitoring mechanism, but I just have to put something in writing. But if Honorable Letlape would like to rephrase or just say whatever he was saying earlier on with regard to the monitoring mechanism.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead,
Through you,
Honorable
Chair.
Letlape.
All I'm just saying is that we need to be able to have, when we have findings from provinces and challenges, we need to have a mechanism of how we follow up on the resolution to those matters. There have to be time frames set and reports from the province about the solutions that they have effected on those issues. It can't wait for another year, another visit, and then we do not know what has happened on those issues. And when you go back, you find that the things that you raised the last time, there are more things, and most of those issues that you raised have not been attended to. I don't know if that makes sense, sir.
If
So we have a way of following up and knowing that matters have been resolved.
Honorable Letlape, I think then, if I understand you correctly, then maybe it can read, instead of just there must be a monitoring mechanism, that the committee urges Parliament or recommends to Parliament to develop a monitoring mechanism on issues raised during oversight visits to ensure recommendations of committees are fully implemented. Because I do think that that sort of mechanism shouldn't be specific to one committee. It's an issue which I think cuts across committees and their oversight duties, and it must be developed by Parliament so there's a transparent method with which we can ensure follow-ups and oversight over the recommendations we come to. So I think that's a very useful recommendation. Honorable Klape, are you happy with that?
Yes, that's the context in which I wanted it done. I don't want each committee to do its thing. That's why I was talking about an SOP and a template that all committees can use.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, members, I think here we have a paragraph, so I'm going to just read it. The committee appeals to the National Assembly House to develop protocol on receiving members of Parliament during oversight visits by the members of the Executive Council. The committee urges Parliament to develop a monitoring mechanism on issues raised during oversight visits to ensure committee's recommendations are fully implemented. Because there is a need to have a uniform mechanism to follow up on the issues identified by the previous oversight visits. I would just say, Julius, perhaps we can make that 2 points, 6.9 and 6.10, split the first part, which is to develop a protocol on receiving members of Parliament. And yeah, exactly. I think it's two separate points. And perhaps just to drive the point home on 6.9, at the end say, so we're saying committee appeals to the National Assembly House to develop protocol on receiving members of Parliament during oversights. Perhaps just to drive the point home, just add, in order to make sure that parliamentary committees are received and acknowledged by the Premier and the members of his Executive Council. Members of the committee, there we have it. I think I'm happy, but is there anybody who would like to suggest a change who is not happy with those amendments?
Right, Chair.
Thank you, members, for
Yes, Chair.
all of those. Oh,
Chair.
sorry. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, no, thank you very much to Honorable de Klappe for raising this. It really helps having the wisdom in the committee because they always come from a perspective of finding solutions to problems. Maybe, Julius, if you can just check your spelling there on 6.10. It's just an S. The committee urges Parliament to develop a monitoring mechanism on issues. Yeah, it was just that. Thank you very much, Chair.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Thank you, Honorable Langa. Members, if that's done, Julius, are you happy that we've now dealt with the report?
Yeah, no, thanks, Chairperson and honorable members, for your engagement on the report. We thank you.
Okay. Masi, can you please just guide us? Do we need to adopt this report now, or vote on sending it to the NA, or what is the next step of to be procedurally correct?
Yeah, correct, Chairperson. Yes, indeed. There must be a move and a second, and then we adopt. The report will be sent to the NA for adoption by the House. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for that confirmation. Members, I will then ask, can I please have a nomination for the consideration and adoption of the committee oversight report to KwaZulu Natal Province as it has been seen and amended by the committee today? Any movers for the adoption? Honorable Letlhare.
Thanks, Chair. My apologies for not raising the hand. The gadget I'm using does not permit that option. Good morning to you, Chair. Good morning to honorable members in the committee and the support staff. I move for the adoption of the report, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tikana. Nice to hear your voice. Your nomination is noted. Honorable Letlhare, your hand was up.
I second, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Letlhare. Members, with that, the report is duly adopted and can be sent to the National Assembly. Members, is there any party who wish to raise an objection to this? No objections received. Thank you very much. Masi, we've got some minutes which we need to consider. Moving on to item 4.
Yes, Chairperson, we will then be adopting the minutes.
Will you please flight the minutes for the members?
Once again, Chairperson, good morning to you and good morning to honorable members and compliments and all the best to 2026, I'm sorry. We have 4 sets of minutes, Chairperson. In that period, there was a period of October. The committee was dealing with BRRR. I'm on the minutes of the 7th of October, Chairperson, where we met AG, PSC, on the first day. We'll be on page 1, page 2, page 3. That's the last page. It is a standard procedure, Chairperson, that minutes of the BRRR and annual reports, we don't necessarily put information as the information is factored into the reports. Those are the minutes of the 7th of October 2025, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Members, Honorable Langa, I see your hand.
Thank you very much, Chair. I just missed I think the last line that Masitole spoke on. I'm not sure about the minutes on the report and the report itself. If maybe can repeat that again.
Masi?
Thank you, Honorable Langa. Through you, Chairperson. The procedure, Honorable Langa, is that when we do the minutes of particularly the BRRR process, and also normally the annual performance plans, which are around May and April. The minutes do not reflect what transpired on the day, and what would normally do is that we just put the members' attendance register, and subsequently, basically, what transpired we presented. Hence why the minutes will find that they're very minimal, because we indicate that all the information that has been discussed during the day is in the report, it's on the report. That's what I was trying to convey, Honorable Chair, Honorable Langa, through Chair.
No, thank you, Mercy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Understood. Members, can we please have a nomination to accept the minutes?
I move, Chair, for the adoption. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Langa. Noted. Members, can we please have a seconder for the adoption of the minutes?
I second, Chair.
Honorable Pulwane, thank you so much. Noted. And therewith, the minutes are duly adopted. Masi, is there another set of minutes, or is that us?
We are on the second set of minutes, Chairperson. These are the minutes of also on the second day for the PRRR, where we met with NSG, CHAMS, Public and NTPSA, and then CPSI, where we dealt with PRRR. Minutes of the 8th. I'm on page 1, Chair. Page 2, delegation of the department. Page 3, Chair. That's the last page. Thank you, Chairperson. Minutes of the 8th of October.
Thank you very much. Members, is there any queries or perhaps a nomination to accept the minutes, to adopt them?
Thanks, Honorable Chair. Once more, I move for the action of the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tikana. Is there another member that would please like to second for the adoption of the minutes? Members, can we please have a seconder for the adoption of the minutes?
Yes, Chair. Chair.
Yes, Honorable Langa, please proceed.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chair. Some of us were not in this meeting, so it wouldn't be correct to us to second on the meeting that we are absent on.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Honorable Space.
No, I that's for that reason, Chair, that I've obviously gone because I've not been in that meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we please have a member that was present in the meeting to second the minutes?
Honorable Pulwane, Chair, was present in the meeting.
Oh, I was present. It means I put, okay. Yeah, I second the proposal.
Thank you, Honorable Wane. Much appreciated. We really do appreciate it. Masi, with that, those set of minutes are passed. Honorable Malinga, I see your hand is up. Would you like to add, or did you want to second?
No, Chair, I'm covered.
Great. Thank you, Honorable Malinga. Appreciate it. Masi, please proceed.
Okay, Chair. We are on the minutes of the 22nd, Chair, the second last one, Chair. On the day, Chair, the committee was then adopting the reports, Chair, the reports of the process of the PRRR. I'm on page 1. Page 2. Page 2. And I'm on last one, page 3, Chair. This was a short meeting, adoption of the reports of the Petroleum Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Masi. Members, is there anybody who would like to, can I please ask for a nomination for the adoption of the minutes?
Sorry, Chair, before that,
Yes,
can,
Linga, please proceed.
I think, can we check as Honorable Langa came with it? I think let's check the spelling there. I think we've got a problem with the clubber, even in this minutes.
Well picked up, Honorable Malinga. Let's make sure that the Honorable Klaba's name is spelled correctly.
Noted, Honorable Amlanga, through you, Chairperson. I will make those amendments. I will just need to check what the attendance register that we received say, and then we'll amend accordingly, Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So, just to make 100% sure that you will check that all the surnames, especially Honorable Klaba's surname is correctly spelled. Thank you, Masi. With that, members, can we please have a nomination for the adoption of the minutes?
Chair, I move for the adoption of minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Dikana. Much appreciated. Members, can we please have a seconder?
Seconded, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Malinga. Appreciate it. Masi, with that, the minutes is duly adopted. Can we please
Thank you,
move
Chair.
on?
We are now on the last set of minutes, Chair. I think the committee had a workshop on the bills. On the bill is the PSA and Palmer bill. Just before we had received the PSA bill, Chair. Meeting was on Zoom. Minutes of the 29th, Chair. I'm on page 1. Page 2, Chair. Page 3. Page 4, Chair. Those are the minutes of the 29th of October 2025, Chair. The last set of minutes for the day.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Members, can I please ask for a nomination to adopt the minutes? Honorable Leklape, I see your hand.
I propose adoption for the minutes, Chair.
I second, Chair.
Wonderful. Thank you, both members. The minutes have been nominated and seconded, and is therefore duly adopted. Mercy, can you please confirm that that was the last set of minutes and that we can move towards adjournment?
Yes, Chairperson, that was the last set of minutes.
Thank you very much. Honorable Langa, I see your hand has gone up. Is that a legacy hand, or would you like to have a final say?
Yes, yes, Chair, thank you. Before you close, I just wanted to check. You'll recall that we went to Gibbs sometime last year, and we were promised that there was going to be some sort of proof that we had gone to Gibbs. So I wanted to check on progress on that. If we'll be getting anything as proof that we spent 2 days in that institution. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Langa, absolutely, indeed, you are quite correct. I by chance actually interacted with Dr. Iver Chipkin last week, and he said he's got certificates. They are printed. He's waiting for his next opportunity to come to Cape Town, and then we can present the committee with their certificates. So yes, absolutely, and that was always the intent, is that we get physical proof that we did attend. So thank you for raising that. I will bring it up and make sure that we get those certificates to the members. Thank you. Honorable Letlape, I think that's still a legacy hand from your nomination, but would you like to still say something?
No, that was a legacy hand, Chair.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Members, with that, that brings us to the end of our meeting. I honestly hope that members have a blessed day, and I look forward to seeing you in our first physical sitting of the committee. But those of you that are on oversight, please be safe. Please enjoy. And for the other members who are doing constituency work, I wish you only the best. And I will see all members in our next physical sitting. Have a great day, everybody, and see you on our next sitting. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Chair.
Chair.